Okay, can you hear me now? All right. Can you hear me now? Let me just check. Hang on. All right. Good. Yeah, so Happy New Year. It's first game back. It didn't miss much. I mean, it was basically 1 week that I didn't do it because I think it fell on the other Tuesday fell on a public holiday. Anyway, I didn't do it this Tuesday because I was out fishing for marlin. We got one and one mahi mahi. They went out yesterday and tagged 4 marlin. So I chose the wrong day, didn't I? Anyway, good to be back, and let's have a look at what's going on out here. Of course, Bitcoin, sitting around those all-time highs. It's had a fantastic run, of course. Look at how this chart looks now. Back, if you recall back here, that was what we had. Look at how small those candles are starting to look as Bitcoin does really get a move on and go into one of its more parabolic type moves. Now, what I want to show you is this. There's the reality. Now, just what I got you. I talk about these strategies being any market, any time frame, and this was one that I pointed out. I was buying a bit of Bitcoin back there on a different strategy that I use. Now, it's pretty hard to get the exact level, but that would have been just on a weekly candle. You're talking 52 to 1. 52 times whatever you risk. If you risk $1,000, that's $52,000. This is why I trade. This is why you trade. And this is why I'm going to continue doing what I do. I haven't had a trade this year, and that's because I've had a couple of weeks off, and now I'm sort of easing myself back. I'm still up here in Noosa. The issue I've got is my flights were cancelled. I finally got some more flights back for next Wednesday. So I will be back properly very, very soon. Markets run hard. Now, here's a bit of information about this pullback that we saw from the high to the low. We're talking about 20-odd%. All right. And we see these 20% pullbacks occur frequently when we get a good, strong run. So it reversed itself extraordinarily quickly. The fall happened very quickly. Obviously, the weekly is very overextended here. But look, I'm sure we will see a decent pullback at some time. But for the time being, I mean, onward we go. I'm still holding on to my Bitcoin, and we're seeing some very good alt runs as well. So what about today? Across the top 10, you can see what's going on there. It's only been an hour, a couple of hours, sorry, that the market's been open. Looking at the 4 hour, I don't love it a great deal. With Bitcoin, however, if it pulled back in a little bit deeper, we got good convergence there. Just looking for cradle trades at this stage. I mean, there was one right there. You might have taken that. Not a bad one, to be honest. It was, there is an uptrend that did pull back. There is a bullish candle. It had all the basic elements for the cradle strategy there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, just go and get it. TraderCobb.com is where you get it. And away you go. But the reason I'm looking through the FTX charts, by the way, is because this is brought to you by FTX. We've been working with those guys, about a year now. And still, as far as I'm concerned, the best platform out there for trading, especially this market anyway. Bringing in FX pairs now, which will be interesting to see how that goes. More options coming to us, which is essentially what we want, right? So let's go ahead and have a look at the whole perp list and just see what we've got there. Onto Ethereum having a little bit of a pullback, not moving as hard as Bitcoin. Of course, it has had some absolutely barnstorming moves of late, including yesterday, nearly 10%, which 10% at the moment is $120. Good moves. Let's have a look at what we've got here, because it has been a little bit erratic of late. You can see through here, those after that real big run up, that pullback got a bit crazy, out of control. That big candle there kind of killed a little bit for me. That cyclicity was really nice. What I'm now waiting for is for it to get out of this range and really start to set those new higher lows again. At that point, I'll start to look for trading opportunities. I've got no problem at all sitting back and waiting. All right, it's not on the list for that reason. I'll keep an eye on it as it's top 10, but it won't make my list just yet. Cardano, on the other hand, big move of the last week or so. 28% yesterday. What a cracking move. I went down to the lower time frames this morning. I was actually watching for a potential breakout trade. There's a cradle right there. If you took that, you're in profit. At the moment, let me just do one thing. I don't cover the boosters in here. If you know what a Fibonacci booster is, we'll draw it in and see what comes up there. But really good cyclicity, very strong move. Look at this. I mean, look at how peachy this is. Pulling back, moving, so on and so forth. Of course, not every trade is going to be a profit, but this is certainly a very, very good chart. I'm actually going to throw that up on the old yellow. We'll make a yellow list for this one. Now, the 4-hour, it is extended. There's no doubt about that. But again, that's all we have to do with these strategies I use is wait for the lower time frames to get good, and this is good too. 1 hour. It pulls back into here. Beauty. Happy days. It's not there yet. It's on a watch list, though. All right, Algorand. Let's go a little bit lower. Algorand, I know, but I just don't like saying that. I'll say Algorand instead. No, nothing really there as far as any levels to work with, so that's not going to make the cut. There's a bullish candle there. It's just a bit big. Nice. Let's go lower. Cyclicity's there and available. Look at on 30. Realistically, we're looking at this high to this high, aren't we? Which we are not convergent on. 1 hour, however, it's fine. It's fine, but pull back in and say 1400, something around there, or even back into the old highs. Yeah, I'd be keen on keeping an eye on that. That's going in as well. Atom. Okay, what I wanted to see the two tests through here? We've now come out of that range that had been banging around for quite some time, about a $2 range. We just pushed through it. So what I want to see is if there's opportunities back into there. Not really at this stage. No, it's got to push on further on the 4, and then I'll wait for a pullback, and then I'm good to go. Nothing there just yet. Bitcoin Cash. Whoops, that's meant to be daily down there. Well, it really rocketed off. Came back to the old resistance. Bang, bang, took off. Strong, indeed. Let's go lower. That was a nice little opportunity in here. If anyone took it, you'd move your stop according to those rules, and away you go. Right now, it's a little bit congested. It needs to extend itself a bit further to give the confidence that I need. Let's look at Binance on the 15, just see if there's any flat levels. Nope, I can leave that. Not good enough. BSV, still trash. Look, very trashy. It's likely to probably have a strong move at some point. I mean, a lot of the other bigger markets have. But at the moment, it's being left for dead. Bitmax, very little going on over the last few weeks. It's quite disappointing if you're a Bitmax holder. Doge went bonkers, has pulled back, and is a little bit messy right now. Have a quick look at that 1 hour. Is there any levels? Oh. Look, at the best, I can just put a reference point in. There's really nothing more for the time being. I'll go past that. Dragon. Okay, look at this. Higher low. Right, higher low, higher high. Pulled back again. Very nice cyclicity going on there. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yep. Needs to push on a bit further though. Okay, because of the depth of this pullback, now we're only just approaching those highs. It needs to get that cyclicity back so I can work with it. It's not ready just yet, so it won't be going in my list. EOS. Well, it's got the motor running. It's finally shot up again. Good 16.85% move yesterday, adding 48 cents. It's got to get better cyclicity. A pull back into the cradle zone. Let me just see where we are. Look, I'm not going to put it in the watch list because it's got a lot of work to do for it to pull back, and it's probably one better for tomorrow or later tonight, perhaps. Ethereum Classic still a little bit caught in here. Not the nicest looking chart. Exchange perp looking pretty good there. By the way, the FTT token approaching $10. Wow, what a move that's been, eh? Not that surprising, considering it, as far as I'm concerned, is the best platform out there for crypto. So it doesn't come as a surprise. That's why I've held lots. Okay, so uptrend there on exchange per. What do I want here? What's the best scenario for me? Don't know about that. It's not terrible, but look, I'm going to pop it in. The reason I'm going to pop it in is because of the strength of this 2 hour trend. It has, although I only got one higher low here and just raced straight up. Depending on how the next pullback was to occur and what that would look like would depend on what options I would have available to me. it's just not really got what I'm after. So I want this nice clean chart, this nice little pullback, just like what we saw here. That's a perfect little cradle for this time frame, that is. I know it's hindsight, but I'm just suggesting this is what I'm looking for. I haven't got that yet on the 30. If I go to the 2 hour now, see what I mean? It's just gone straight up. I want to see that beautiful little pullback right up here so I can get onto it. At the moment, more waiting needs to be done. It's on the watch list for that reason. I shall wait. Horby still trapped. I'll leave that. Leo, very thinly traded and not one that I'm interested in right now. Link pulling back as it needs to do so. Let's have a look at this from the 4 and go lower. This could be good on the 2 maybe. No. Why? Because it's just pulled back here. It would have to be a very shallow pullback. So I think we're probably going to go to the 4 here. Yeah, the 4 does look good. Somewhere in around this $15 mark or a bit higher. You know, between this moving average and this moving average, obviously the cradle zone. That's a nice little one. It's starting to pull back a little bit here. It's definitely worthwhile having on the radar for a glance at later. Litecoin has been really running quite well. Bit of a spike there, I think, as well. I don't love that. No, I'll leave Litecoin for the time being. Although a very good trend, I need to see a little bit better movement than that. Matic really raced off yesterday with a 45% move. I know some, I can't remember, it was a 1 hour time frame. What was it, 6 or 2 days, a 7th? Might have been the... I'm just going to say, I know that some clients picked up a trade down here somewhere. Or maybe it was there, sorry. Maybe it was this one here, that pullback. And, you know, cheeky little position on, massive profit later in the tens of thousands, which is lovely to hear. So well done to that individual that I know, and to those of you who did take that. As it stands right now, the momentum is certainly there. Need to see that pullback. Cyclicity is pretty fine. You know, pull back into that cradle zone, no worries. 4 hour even if it takes a bit longer. So Matic's going to go into that list as well. It's shot up a bit today and it started to pull back, so worthwhile keeping an eye on. Mid-perp needs to pull back. It's sort of midway through its move at the moment. I'll probably be looking to leave that for the time being. OKB, when we look at this, I'm looking at it on a daily chart. Higher high, pulling back, bullish candle right there in the cradle. When you've got your checklist, go and have a look at that. Okay, go check out that little, check out your watch or your checklist and see if that fits. It's going in yellow, into that yellow list. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, shit perp runs on. Let's have a look here. That damn pullback was just too vicious. That though, look at that. If anyone got that, see, there's been opportunity, and like I say, I haven't been trading. I've been golfing. I've been fishing. I've been taking a break. If that cyclicity comes good, great. I'm actually not going to put it in because the list is there's quite a bit in there, and it's got quite a bit more to do. Tomo, it's not really pushed on enough to warrant my interest at this stage. Tron, another one in a similar sort of category here. One thing about Tron is, look at this consolidation it's been in for quite a while. Look, it's not a perfect level, but you can see roughly, right? It's really found, let me get rid of that. It's really found issues around that sort of 3 cent mark. So it's not going into the watch list. I've marked that in there as a reference point just for the simple reason that, that should be down here. Simple reason that, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm not too interested till we get up through that region. Something like that. We get up through there, well, we'll have something to work with. It's been very quiet throughout the last sort of, I don't know, 6 months. The odd spike here and there, but not a great deal really to report on. We get out of there and we've got room to run at that stage. We haven't, in my view, it's not worthy just yet. XRP, well, it's kind of, had its big run and then gave it all back and some. It's out of the question for me with it being very sideways. Tezos, was watching that as it's come out of this resistance. Came back and tested it just about bang on. But then it sort of it bounced really fast and there was a lower high. So I was watching this morning on my live trading floor. Scan, the candle just got too big. Sorry, just after the scan. At the start of the scan, that candle had closed. My mistake. And it's not quite there. That being said, You know, if you got something pretty in here later on, I might be open to that. It's not there yet, and it's got a bit more work to do. PrivPerp, hey, this is a chart I really do like, and I'll tell you why. Higher low, resistance, 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 another higher low, messy, messy pop. Yesterday, popping 14% straight through the top. It looks really nice for continuation to the upside now that it's got itself going again. A chart like this, because it's, you know, it has consolidated, it has popped through, it is convergent. This is the sort of areas I like to be focusing my attention. If you have a look at it now, however, the reason it didn't make my watch list this morning is because it has a long way to pull back. I mean, that candle was really rocketing at the time, and it's only just sort of, you know, stopped. That's nearly a 5% candle. My job is to wait for the opportunity now to get that trade, and it could come on the 1 hour time frame. Let's look at the lower. Look at these little cradles here. You might have got some boosters into there as well. Those of you who know what a booster is, check out your fibs from here to here and drop them to there if you need to. I suspect there's probably something in there that was tradable. It's a really nice trend. Again, there's fib points from here and here. Certainly worthwhile keeping an eye on. That'll go in the list. Because even if it's not in the 30-minute as a booster, the 1 hour could be a cradle. If it keeps pulling back deeper, we'll just move higher. Because there is a lovely looking trend there. All right, a great bit of momentum. And in my opinion, there's still room to move to the upside. Theta. Let's go lower. Not really a level just there. Just yet. Ooh, got it out. DeFi. A little bit sticky. What I mean by sticky, of course, it broke that resistance that we've spoken of and ran really well. When I say sticky, I mean it's just not really doing what I need it to do, is it? The cyclicity is not quite there yet. Comp. Oh, a little bit messy. I'm going to leave comp. Kyber. Good. It's done what I was hoping for it to do this morning, as it has broken up through a region. There is a trend there. The concern I've got is just how sort of parabolic it's gone there. It's a watch list one. Sorry, it's not a watch list one, but it's one to come back to. If it does pull back to that around that $1.05, I'm keen, but again, I can do a quick scan later on. Swipe, still very sideways, not really trending all that well. Gold rocketed up, but pulled back down through 2,000, is now currently in the cradle zone very, very nicely. No trade there yet. VeChain. Now, I don't know if it was with you guys or with my members in the community. We talked of this level. Look at it. It tapped it exactly and then ran. The problem I've got now is I just don't have any entries. The 8 hour could produce something, but again, it's going to take quite some time for it to get anywhere near that, so it's out for me. Unless the lower time frames pick up cyclicity, I am out. Two sideways here on Polkadot as well. A little bit of slowing down after a very strong run. Very erratic here on Solana, and you can see I marked in this resistance this morning. We've got to get through there before it captures my attention. Meta, also the same, a little bit choppy through here. Not interested in that chop, considering we've got some fantastic strong markets. I'm not looking to trade chop. Ultimately here on Balancer, I'd love to see it pull back into the cradle and give me a small bullish candle. But that's a fair way off, right? It is down 5.21%. Let's have a look at the higher time frame, or the mid, sorry, not the higher. Look, it could get into that $16 mark. I don't like the price action through here, but it won't make the list. I'll keep an eye on that probably later on tonight or tomorrow. Thorchain, a little bit messy there. I'll leave that. Another one we were talking about, that resistance. It broke through that resistance and it ran very, very hard. With yesterday closing up 35%. What a whopper of a move. It's in my list because I'm just waiting. Waiting for my entry. Oh, this was one I talked about with the 30 this morning. Yeah, that's the one. So if anyone did end up taking that trade, it sort of started just on the scan or around the time of the scan. If you got that, you would have taken your one-to-one profit, so that's great. I don't know if that's going to go on the list now. No, it won't, because it's got a long way to go. It was on my red list. That was the video I put out to members this morning. So I'll move from Maker onto DMM. Very erratic. No thank you. Zcash. Get rid of that level. Now, am I interested in a potential flat level here to keep an eye on it? Nah. No, there's better opportunities out there, and that's not one for me. Uni. Lovely looking trend. Love to see it pull back. Another example, breaking through resistance, running hard. My Bitcoin breakout setup, or type setup, I should say. Unipep looking alright. Again, I'll come back to it later. It's not quite ready just yet. Nice trend. Daily would be superb if I could get a little pullback in there. Avalanche pulled back in. Unfortunately, this morning when it was in that cradle zone, the candle wasn't exactly perfect. You know, that one there wasn't exactly right. So I left it, and I have done so for a reason, and I will leave it again. File is sideways. Flamingo, our pink bird, is sideways. OMG is climbing, but without the cyclicity that we require. Yearn is... It's nice to see, what, 12 grand under Bitcoin's price. Very sideways, nothing to do there. Nothing happening on waves. Okay, we come to AVE. Look, I don't mind this on the higher time frames. Look, got a couple of higher lows and obviously a very clear higher high coming off of the resistance. A pullback into there, surely. Could be worthy. Absolutely it would be. It's just got to pull back a lot further for me to be interested in it, and it hasn't yet made the move. So it's probably one that I'll pick up later on if it was to pull back hard. So I don't want to I don't want to fill my list, nothing on there, with too many that have sort of got a long way to wait, because we do have so much trend out there. We do have so much opportunity on the lower time frames, and I don't want to cloud flicking through my watch list by looking at higher time frames that are going to take some time. This is what I call about trading windows, knowing when the candles will close and trading around the time when they close, because then you can go through and do a full scan of the perp list like I've done. It only takes a couple of minutes to do when I'm not commentating, and it just means that you're not wasting valuable watch list space, so you don't get confused. You can't really miss things. It's a much easier way of doing it. Now, Helium's got a bullish candle in the cradle. Trend's not really established. Not in the daily. Not good enough. Uni's taken off again, needs to pull back. Again, the higher time frames where the activity would be there for me, or where I might be interested. It's not there yet. I'll move on. Synthetics. Now, this one was excluded from my list this morning simply because, you know, there was a lower high and a lower low. That being said, again, if it pulls back on the 8 hour, it could come into contention. It's going to take some time. Stellar, well, didn't have a funky looking move yesterday and a big move again today. Yesterday up 77%. That is out of this world. Well, unless that world happens to be crypto, obviously. Look at this beautiful cyclicity here. Higher low, high, higher low, high, higher low. Sorry, higher high, higher low potential. That could be a little cradle trade there right now on Stellar. 15 minutes, 5 minutes to go. Let me just get out of there and try to go to the rest because, oh, that's it. Right, let's have a quick look now. Big list, Cardano. Cardano looking in here at the lower time frames. Okay, looking for boosters, looking for that sort of thing. If failing that, I'm going to go to the 1 hour. A pullback into this cradle zone with convergence could be very good indeed. Bitcoin, of course, still there. It's always there. It's moving well. We're on the 1 hour right here. Pullback in could be very nice. I'd be happy to trade the 30. I'd also be happy to trade the 15 when it comes to little cradles. I'm waiting to see what we get. You're going to have some that trigger you in and you get stopped out. That's fine. If you're not used to trading the lower time frames, minimize your risk a bit. Take your risk off. All right, minimize it. Halve your risk. Put a third risk on, because you are going to get more trades on those lower time frames. And you might have to go, okay, 15 didn't work. 30? Well, I'll wait for that. You might get stopped out at the 30. Who knows? But having that understanding and a risk plan around how much correlated risk you're looking to take, how much total portfolio risk you're happy to carry, these are the things that professional traders need to be aware of. Okay, alt perp, the 30 is pretty divergent, possibly a 1 hour in here. Exchange perp, something very similar as well. Looking to see if I can get little cradles, not so much on the 30, not so much on the 1. I kind of like this a bit higher, up to the 4. A deeper pullback required to follow through with that trend. Link, same thing. a pullback into the cradle zone in what is a nice established trend on that 4, and a very strong push now with a higher low and a higher high on the daily. So 4-hour cradles there. Matic has had a solid run higher. Watching the 1 hour. Don't know about the 30. Was it the 30? Oh, the 30 could be all right. A little bit thinner at the moment. You can see by the little tiny funky looking price action. Keeping an eye on that. There is momentum there. Seeing a bit of a pullback now, which is great because pullbacks offer us opportunities to get in. So just waiting to see what comes of that on the 1, the 2 hour more than anything else. OKB is there on the daily right there. Do your rules, checklists, and follow through. Priv Perp, very nice push on. Really like the look of this chart. Really like the look of this chart. Waiting on the 1 hour or the 2 hour as well. If not 4 hour, we can keep going higher until we get a pullback, really. And Stellar, where are we? It's a 15 I saw. Yeah, look at that little bullish count. Could be a booster in there as well, but look where it is. In a very nice position indeed with good convergence there. High here to high here. We are convergent. We are looking quite good. So there you go, guys. That is my first scan for the FTX crew for 2021. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. Bye for now.